evening. It's 6 o'clock on Tuesday, the 25th of July, 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories, translated into English 6 days a week. Ilir Meta was sworn in as Albania's new president in front of the members of parliament who elected him for the responsibility on April 28 of this year. Even though he was elected without the votes of the opposition at the time, Mr Meta promised to stand above the parties and to leave the political debates behind. The former parliamentary speaker, Ilir Meta, took the oath of office with his hand on the Albanian constitution. The swearing-in ceremony in parliament was headed by the vice parliamentary speaker. During his speech given to the members of parliament, President Meta vowed to respect the Albanian constitution in the best interests of the Albanian people and the Albanian nation. On April 28th, I ran for president and I put my mind more than my heart on it because the opposition was not there. But today I want to guarantee you that I took my oath with all my heart and with the conviction that the decision I made at the time gave a modest contribution for resolving the crisis, which the country and its European future did not deserve. I have the honour today to greet you with my highest commitment and solemnly show my firm will to respect every single detail of the Constitution of Albania in order to protect the best interests of our country, our nation and our Albanian citizens. I will serve to consensus, cooperation and all-inclusiveness, especially for advancing with the reforms that will make our country more democratic, more prosperous and more European, he said. The President added that constitutionalism and political neutrality will be the major pillars of his presidency. Following the swearing-in at a special gathering of Parliament, Mr Meta formally took the post from the former President Bujar Nishani during a power-transferring ceremony. The head of the Constitutional Court handed the Albanian constitution to President Ilir Meta. The new president vowed to abide by the country's constitution and laws, respect the citizens' rights and freedoms, defend the independence of Albania and serve the interests of the Albanian people. In his speech, President Meta put emphasis on political dialogue, stressing he would remain an unwavering loyal supporter of dialogue and consensus as the only successful way of politics, building communication and unification amongst citizens. I would like to praise President Nishani specifically for his calm, balanced and human stance. I will work ceaselessly for the Albanian democratic society to consolidate its fundamental values and rights. The civil society will have the attention and cooperation of the President. The European Albania we want to build requires high quality of thought and prominent professionalism, which cannot be achieved without a more active involvement of the academic world as the highest level of scientific thought. I will develop a continued dialogue with the academic world. I am convinced Albania has all the potential and the resources. As President, I will strongly encourage what really ensures Albania's unity. I am convinced of our opportunities to ensure the country's stability, national security and a more sustainable economic growth, President Meta concluded. Ilir Meta was elected on April 28, 2017 as the President of the Republic of Albania with 87 votes for and just 2 against. Following his swearing-in yesterday, the President of the Republic of Albania, Ilir Meta, received many congratulatory messages. His Greek counterpart conveyed his congratulatory message, expressing his conviction that more work is needed to deepen the relations between Albania and Greece. The French President, Emmanuel Macron, also sent a message expressing his conviction that the relations between the countries will be further intensified, also thanks to the Agreement of Strategic Cooperation, which was signed in March 28, 2017 in Paris. The Queen of the United Kingdom, Queen Elizabeth II, also sent a message to Mr Meta for the occasion of his inauguration as President. Queen Elizabeth II congratulated President Meta on his presidential post and underlined that cooperation between the United Kingdom and Albania will be further strengthened. I would like to congratulate you on your inauguration as President of the Republic of Albania. Me and my government are waiting to continue our close cooperation and to further reinforce the relations between our two countries. I extend to you and the people of the Republic of Albania my best wishes for the future, Queen Elizabeth II writes in her congratulatory message. The Emperor of Japan congratulated Meta, wishing him success and happiness. The Emperor also wished for prosperity and progress for the Albanian people. Kosovo's Prime Minister, Hashim Thaçi, also congratulated Meta on his inauguration as president. Mr. Thaci held a telephone conversation with Meta, with whom he discussed the importance of the strengthened rule of law and democracy. Kosovo's Prime Minister emphasised that Kosovo and Albania will continue to support each other. The Macedonian Foreign Minister, Nikola Dimitrov, is on an official visit to Tirana. He held a meeting with his Albanian counterpart, Foreign Minister Ditmir Bushati, and they gave a joint press conference after the meeting. The Macedonian minister declared that the law on using the Albanian language in Macedonia will soon be implemented, rejecting claims of delaying implementation of the electoral promise. Meanwhile, the Albanian foreign minister advised that the agreement reached between the Albania and Macedonian prime ministers to hold a joint meeting of the two governments will be realised by autumn. The governments will hold their joint meeting in Pogradec. After the meeting in Trieste, today we agreed to hold a joint meeting of the governments in autumn in Pogradec. This will be a new development in the relations between our countries. An opportunity will be created to give priority to cooperation in order to facilitate the realisation of strategic projects, said Bushati. During his first visit in our country, the Macedonian minister said that we should work together to convince Brussels that this is the time that the Balkan countries will start living seriously. If Europe will make any changes, then the change should be us, declared the Macedonian foreign minister. Invited on our programme, Tonight Ilva Tare, Tirana's Mayor Erion Veliaj declared that the drinking water's price will increase in order to ensure water supply for 24 hours. The Mayor said that the City Hall will take a loan in order to make investments in the network and that the capital will no longer suffer from water restrictions within 5 years. The City Hall will manage the water situation. The water network cannot cover all areas. For this reason, we need money to make investments. When I came into office, Tirana had 7 hours per day. Now it has 13 hours per day. Given the situation we are in, we are not given loans because the banks say we cannot repay the debt. We have done what we could. The price will increase as much as the price of a newspaper and will result in us having water 24 hours per day within 5 years. We will go towards bankruptcy if we do not open new sources, declared the Mayor, adding that he has consulted with the citizens on the decision during the hearings he has held at the time of his campaign. The Mayor declared that the Task Force for Drinking Water continues its operation and is fining citizens who have illegal water connections. In addition to the fines, the Mayor said that 30 cases have been referred for prosecution. Regarding the investments in the capital, the Mayor declared that the big ring road will open by the end of summer and announced that an overpass has been predicted to be built at the Shqiponia Square. The Mayor also announced that the capital will have an iconic park at the new boulevard to be called Central Park, which will feature more than 10,000 trees. The Democratic Party's councillors in the City Hall have considered the proposal by the Mayor to increase the price of water to be abusive. The DP's councillors held a consultative meeting today ahead of the meeting of the City Council, which will be held tomorrow. The increase of the water price affects Tirana's citizens. It is a pure abuse because there is no justification and no motivation for increasing the price of water. It is an unjustified action which aims to increase the budgets, which will not be used at all. This is just like how we were lied to about the increase in the ticket price for the buses, with the promise of an improved quality of service. We are all testifying that nothing has changed. The same will happen with the drinking water, declared one of the DP councillors. The right-wing councillors also expressed opinions against the Project Act that aims to approve a fund of €60 million for the construction of schools through public and private partnership. The City Council will gather tomorrow. Tirana's Mayor is expected to propose an increase in the price of the drinking water by 20 lek, with the aim to ensure a 24-hour water supply in the coming 5 years. According to the Civil Emergency Service, 11 fires have erupted in the past 24 hours across different areas of the country, including Gjirokasta, Leja, Elbasan, Tirana, Korç, Durrës and Fier. About 156 firefighting teams have been battling with the blazes, assisted by 18 vehicles, 10 volunteer teams, 78 military forces and helicopters. The civil emergency specialists are keeping the situation under constant monitoring throughout the country because the danger of fires persists due to the hot weather. The Civil Emergency Service reiterated its appeal for citizens to call emergency phone numbers, if they see any signs of fire. According to the Civil Emergency Service, 4 hectares of pasture were burned in Girocastra's villages, 1 hectare of pines was burned in Veliaj, and 3 hectares of bushes were burned in Elbasan. Around 300 olive trees were burned in Fia, Durrës and Tirana. That's all for our English edition this evening. My name is Alexandra. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. On behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.